What's up, Sooner basketball fans? Welcome back to the Sooner Surge, a podcast that tells it like it is. Thanks for joining us today. Before we get started, make sure you hit the like, you turn on your notifications, you like and comment on this video, and you also check out the FanStop at thefanstop.com. Great time to be on that website looking for Christmas gifts because there's a lot of great apparel, Sooner style, that you can get on there and order. So make sure you do that, thefanstop.com. Sooner basketball improved to 10-0 with a dominating win in the Bedlam matchup against Oklahoma State yesterday in Oklahoma City. And guys, I think this is a team that now will be on the verge of sneaking inside the top 10 when the new poll comes out. Just a really good performance across the board, especially defensively. And then Sam Godwin, night of his life with 20 points, 14 rebounds, guys.
Yeah, for first few minutes of the game it was 6 points, and then a 1.5 of 5, maybe even to 6 of 6 for Godwin in a game that means a lot to him growing up in Oklahoma, getting to play one more Bedlam, the only Bedlam unless these two teams somehow meet in the postseason. Don't expect that to happen. But yes, great game for him. Jeremiah Fears continues to be impressive. A true freshman, 17 and 5 in 33 minutes. And then Kobe Elvis from beyond the arc, 5 threes, 15 points. Another good night from him. And it was OU the entire second half. They were up for a good chunk of it by 20, end up winning by 15.
Yeah, one thing that, Porter Moser seems to have always do when he's coaching is they usually play pretty good defense. And they have really under Porter Moser. I think they've been pretty good defensively in all his years. And last night was clamped down. I mean, OSU had trouble getting looks. It was impressive what they did on the defensive side of the court. I really like this team, guys. I don't want to get ahead of myself because last year they were 10-0. They were ranked in the top 10, and then they didn't make the tournament. But this team has a little bit different. I don't know if it's different. They just made up a little different than last year. They have a little bit of a different attitude, I think, too. And I think that's led by Jalen Moore. I think he has this attitude of, in certain situations, give me the ball, I'm going to get to the rim. Even last night, he only had 11 points, and they won by 15 points. You mentioned that Hunter, Jeremiah Fears. I'm trying to think back. I don't like doing comparisons, but I'm trying to think back of a guard who, let's not remember, he's not a freshman. He should be a senior in high school. He reclassified. Okay, you got to remember that. He skipped the senior year, reclassified. What he is able to do with his body physical, there's many times he drives at the rim and even just using his body to get a little bit of space and create, he's way, way beyond his years, and he's playing really good. And then you put it, I think it's a perfect combination to have him with Kobe Elvis and Duke Miles. That kind of threesome at the guard is a really good tandem. And last night, they only shoot it, I think, from the three-point line 34%. But Kobe Elvis goes off and has a great shooting performance. And, man, I just know I really like this team, guys. And I know they got Michigan coming up, and Michigan was ranked 14th going into this week. They lost to Arkansas, so they're going to drop a little bit. But still another big-time matchup there in Charlotte.
Yeah, and you talk about Jeremiah Fears, guys. Jay, you talked about his physicality. How he's able to I think the way he can create contact a little bit, get to the foul line is going to be huge in conference play. He's so good with his left hand, finishing with his left hand, which is great. And then he's got a great step back from three. What impresses me the most really about this team, guys, is they're not going to be a team that OU's kind of had to rely on sets in the past. And Porter Moser would probably tell you they've done that in the past. When you have Duke Miles getting downhill, Kobe Elvis, Jeremiah Fears, and Jalen Moore, all guys who, when they catch the ball, they're looking to get inside the paint and either dish or finish. I mean, that makes offense a whole lot easier than it's been in the past. I'll say that. And the other thing that makes it easier, guys, is Kobe Elvis and Jeremiah Fears off the pick and roll, their pocket passes, the way that they utilize the bounce pass, the skip pass, pass to the corner, really good vision. And they're not small guards. So they've got the height to see kind of above some, see through things. It's really making the offense click pretty easily. And you add Godwin, how he was last night, that's just going to be even more impressive. They continue to use the bench pretty well. Goodines comes in. He knows his role. He's a shooter, from three-point land. Taylor's pretty physical. He's a guy who likes to slash. You got Northweather, who's a shooter, pick and pop, who's been way better defensively than I thought he would be. And guys, they still got Jadon Jones that is going to be back eventually. And I still haven't even gotten to some people. Duke Miles' defense, able to steal the ball. I mean, he's getting a couple steals a game. Super team, fun team to watch.
Yeah, when you get to March Madness, guards are going to win you games. That's what you have to have. Oklahoma has that right now, and they have that with a just turned 18-year-old, should be a senior in high school. He's only 10 games into his college career. He's only going to get better. There's a reason why you're hearing talks of him might not even being back next year because of how sought after of an NBA prospect he is. As the season continues to progress, he's only going to get better. And then you just look at the seniors that they have as guard as well. Kobe Elvis, Duke Miles. Those guys have played a lot of college basketball. They know what it's going to take. And, oh, by the way, Jadon Jones still hasn't played for this team. When they get him back, that's going to be another boost. The question, again, is bigs. Maybe Sam Godwin tends to get into foul trouble, but Luke Northweather has been great as of late for Oklahoma. I mean, 16 minutes last night in Bedlam, only 3 points, but he only took one shot. It was a three-pointer he made. So, again, I think this team is going to be really good. It's just this has been what's happened the last few years for Oklahoma. They've done really well in non-conference play. Then conference play hits, and you see a different team. You think, oh, they're in the SEC. They're out of the Big 12. Not going to be an issue this year. The SEC is the best it's been in a long time. This conference is really good, number 1 and number 2 team in the country at this point in time. And it's a very deep conference as well. 9 teams in the top 25 and a few more teams. I mean, Florida's not even ranked yet. They're 10-0, so they're going to be ranked pretty soon. But you'll see another really good matchup for this team in the Jumpman Invitational against what will be still a top 25 Michigan team.
Yeah, and Michigan, like you said, that'll be a tough matchup. Then you got a couple of non-con games that they should roll in. But if they beat Michigan, there's a really good chance they're going to be top 5 or 6 going into Alabama game in the SEC, which would be an elite matchup, top 10 teams probably. But don't want to get ahead of yourselves. You got to play Michigan first. One thing I like about this team, though, is I think the last few years under Porter Moser, the biggest problem and Achilles heel, I think, of this team were 2 things. They would go into really dry spells offensively. The other one is this. They had a turnover problem, a big turnover problem. You guys remember it. It was a big deal. This year, I mean, I think last night they might have had 12, which is probably more than I think they averaged like 10 or 11 a game. They've been really good handling the ball with guys that are all new. I think it's great because the more you play together, the better you're going to get. So as they go throughout the season, they should get better. But that's been a big improvement. And then the other thing is this, Godwin, guys. Godwin hasn't been playing that well up until last night. I don't think, he's had some games where he hadn't done a whole lot. But if he can catch that ball where he caught it yesterday, free throw line a little bit closer and attack and finish it, it totally changes the offense. If he catches it and stands there and doesn't do anything with it, it's a different offense. I loved what he did last night. He attacked the rim off the pick and roll. It was great. He needs to keep doing it. But yeah, a lot of good things ahead for this team, I think, guys.
Yeah. Real quick, Jay, they did win the turnover battle last night. That's 12, as you mentioned, 16 turnovers. And then to correct one thing, Florida is ranked, missed that. They're number 9 in the country. And as you mentioned, Jay, you get the Michigan game, 2 more non-conference games after to close out the non-conference stretch. And then it's at number 7, currently number 7, Alabama, and then number 17, Texas A&M at home. So they get one tough game in a couple weeks of Christmas and easy non-con games, and then it's welcome to the SEC with 2 very difficult games.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the SEC, it's kind of like the Big 12. Just get ready for it. Probably 90% of your games are going to be against ranked teams. So the rest of the way, I mean, it's just brutal.
And that's something Moser and company are used to because of the Big 12. That's the good thing with the staff. We can't end this video until we mention another hometown kid, Dayton Forsyth. I think is playing better than more and better than I think people thought. He's not just jacking up shots. He's been pretty good at penetrating, dishing the ball. actually been better than I thought defensively. Has played okay where they can still play. I think he's going to be a guy that continues to get minutes as a true freshman. And that's great to see the Oklahoma kid there in Bedlam. It was great to see a Bedlam matchup again. That was great. Porter Moser talked about it in his post-game presser. But Sooners get the W, 80-65 in Oklahoma City against the Oklahoma State Cowboys, and improved to 10-0. We'll see where they're ranked as the poll comes out. But thanks for checking out this video. Make sure you hit subscribe, you like, and you comment in this video. And we'll see you next time, Sooner Nation.